Hey everyone, I think I have a bag problem. Hey everyone, look a little different, don't I? So I just realized that I did this video almost exactly 2 years ago, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And I wasn't going to put it online. I thought, it's not that great of a review, and there are lots of great bag reviews out there. But I thought maybe it'll have some interest, and I decided I would include most of that original video, the beginning especially, just to show, I don't know if maybe you're like me, you've got a closet full of camera bags. But I review 5 specific bags, and I've got links to those sections down in the description below. And I also realized that I didn't give the Atlas bags their fair due in that. I just got them. I really hadn't used them. I still haven't been able to use them as much as I would like. But I thought I would redo the video, that part as well. So what we're going to do is go ahead and show you the old video, but I encourage you to watch the part about the Atlas bags, because I realized after I did the video that I didn't understand these bags. So if you want to skip straight to that, there's a timestamp right there where you can go to my review of this Atlas bag. If you want to watch all the other stuff, maybe it'll be a little entertaining, I don't know. Anyway, let's jump back 2 years and go to that, and I'll see you in a minute. Now, I'm not a classic hoarder, but I do have a problem throwing things away. And I'm really lazy, so I also don't sell my old stuff like I should. I've still got cameras I should be selling. And it's kind of hard to sell a used bag. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I just never really tried. Anyway, these are just a few of the bags I have owned over the years. I've sold or given away some. I actually had a couple of low pros that I threw away. They weighed like 10 pounds or 12 pounds empty. And who wants to start out with trying to get a 22-pound bag and you got 10 pounds of it in the bag. So I started looking for lighter alternatives. The 4 Clik bags down over here, those are my current bags. And unfortunately, I can't get those anymore. Overall, they've had the best combination of pocket access, size, and ability to configure to equipment of all the bags that I've owned. These are, like this bag is one I bought because it sounded really good. And once I got it, it just isn't what I thought it was. It's a little small. Now this would be, I think it's a really good bag, and somebody with a smaller kit. And that's my problem, is my kits are kind of big. So I bought this bag thinking a while back it would be a good one. And I'll show, and I still might end up using this one, I'm not sure. But it has one really big flaw that I don't like, and I'm not sure if there's a way to avoid that. I'll have to do some checking. Anyway, recently I did a video about this bag. I got all excited when I ordered it, and was actually very disappointed when I opened it, because it sounds like it's a really deep bag. I think it says it's like 5.5 inches, but they don't bother telling you that that's part of it, and the actual part that holds your camera is only about 4 inches deep. I think I can fit my Sony in it with my L bracket, but I can't fit my other camera. And this is the camera that I'm having problems with right here. This is my GFX 100, and I'm probably going to be migrating to it's more of my main camera when I don't use my little technical view camera. Unfortunately, I'm getting a little old, and to carry my really nice Phase 1 XF camera body and lenses for any decent length hike at all, I probably can't handle that. So I'd either have to take a Sherpa or go lighter. And this might even still be too heavy. And so when it's a long hike, I might even be down to my A7R4, they're all great cameras, give me good results. Of course, when I shoot, I'm looking for the ability to make big. I sell 80-inch, 90-inch prints, pieces. Now, I don't sell them nearly as often as I used to, because I did close my gallery. And so now that I'm retired, I might find it's more just about shooting for fun and not really worry about it. Although I still think I'll sell some of my work. And I've always been infatuated with incredibly precise, I wouldn't call it detail, but rendering of a scene. And the micro detail is something it's kind of like high fidelity in music. You can't really point at it to say why it looks better, but when you print a print really big, even from 8-9 feet away, there's a little bit of a visual difference between one that's printed from a 40 megapixel camera and one that's printed from a 100 megapixel camera. Now, part of it might be the glass, But part of it is the rendering, I think, and I can't really explain it. And most people can't tell you why they like one better than the other. And maybe it's just this, you know, kind of like the whole CD versus vinyl debate that's going on. You know, it's just all in my head. At least I think that's all in my head anyway. I certainly can't hear a difference. Anyway, this is a really big fat body or wide body. As you can see, it's about a 6 by 7 inch block. Especially once you get the L bracket on it, and I always shoot with an L bracket. I don't want to have the camera hanging off the tripod. Once you do that, you're never going to get a still. Might as well just hand hold it. So I ordered I saw a picture of somebody that had managed to get his GFX in this bag, but they made a change to the bag since he put his in there. They removed one zipper, so it won't mine won't work. And the way he did it, I still might be able to get it to work. But what I thought I would do is get another bag. I mean, if you don't have the right bag, don't you get another bag? I mean, I need a few more bags, right? So I've got this bag here, and this is another Atlas bag. But it's larger than this one. This one will go up to, well, this one supposedly goes up to 40 liters, but it really is about the same size as most of my 20-liter bags. So I thought, well, let me try this one. And so I thought I'd do a quick video. I'm going to unbox it, talk about a few things. So what I need to do is clear this table off so I can kind of show things. So let me just get rid of all this stuff and I'll be right back. Hey everyone, I just started this video a couple months ago, and I kept deciding whether to finish it or not because there's a lot of good bag reviews out there. And I thought I'd go ahead and finish it. I thought, what the heck? Maybe somebody will get a little bit of advice out of it. I've been searching for the perfect bag for a long time. Most of us do. You saw the mess I had, and I've probably thrown 10 bags away or given them away. So let's first start with the one that I've been using frequently. I have both the large and a small version of this. This is a company called Clik. Unfortunately, you can't get this bag anymore. This is the closest thing I've come to one that I really like. This particular one is a big bag, big side pockets, holds a lot of stuff. You know, they have little pouches in there as well to keep things organized, falling apart. Nice pouch here with 2 dividers in it. You can put your computer down in there. You know, I have my bellows for my little view camera down in there. One thing I don't like about this bag is this pocket up here. These corners are too sharp, so it's easy to unzip, but it's hard to zip. But as you can see, it's got room for a lot of stuff there. And a nice pouch here with a zipper to keep stuff organized. One thing I really like about this bag, and something I look for, is it's a center mounted tripod. So the tripod feet go down in here, and then this hooks around it, so the tripod sits in the middle of your back. Most bags, they want you to put the tripod on the side, and if you do that, you got to figure out how to get a lot of your camera gear on the other side to balance the weight. Otherwise, you're going to have a sore shoulder. Some bags, you can move it from one side to the other, which isn't too bad. Usually when I have to do that, I take the head off and figure out somewhere to put it inside. But this one is really nice because it has that feature. If I open it up, compartments are pretty easy to customize. They give you some nice thick padding. This is an unusual setup because this is my little Cambo. So, you know, easy to put my lenses in and out, lots of padding. And I've got my filter pack right here that goes on my tripod. So overall, I really do like this bag. Lays out well. It's a good bag for this particular kit, and I'm probably going to keep using it. It's a very deep bag. Unlike most of them I'm looking at, that's the problem I'm running into with the Fuji, is it's a big camera, and I can't find a bag where this one it might work on. But most of the bags aren't deep enough to really handle it if you leave the viewfinder on the top. So that's kind of the one I like, but I can't get it anymore. So when it's shot, when it's gone, it's gone. The straps are fairly padded. It's fairly comfortable wear. The waistband works pretty good. It's not too bad to hike with. No place for, well, I guess you maybe could stick a water bladder down in there. There's a pocket there for something. I don't know. That'd be a little hard to keep a water bladder in there. But overall, decent bag, and it's the closest one I've found so far. I'm going to show a bag. Thought I'd show this bag because I think it's being manufactured again. This is a bag called a Kiboko by Guragear. Andy Biggs, who's a wildlife photographer. The thing I do like this bag because you can open half of it up or the other half of it up, and it's pretty easy to organize. The dividers are a little flimsy. I like a little more padding in the dividers, but lots of pockets here to store stuff. Pockets here, rain cover. And this bag actually is pretty roomy. It's roomier than it looks. Downside, again, the tripod has got to go over here. Nowhere to put a tripod in the middle. So anyway, I might buy one of the new versions of this. They were manufacturing them. They bought another company. They bought Tamrac or something, and now they're too focused on Tamrac. But I think I heard that he's going to start making these bags again. So Kiboko by Guragear. Real quick, I'll talk about this bag. I bought this bag with high hopes, and I'm hoping that they make a bigger version. I haven't checked it out yet. Tripod center mount. Feet go here, strap here. Holds a 15-inch laptop. Pretty good pouch there. Decent straps. They're fairly soft. I haven't ever used this bag because this one's too small for me. But I like the way it's designed. The one thing I don't like about it, so the nice part is when I open the back, this is the other thing I look at, is that it's all open. I don't have, stuff hanging out over. But these are pretty flimsy and pretty thin, and this bag is just too small for what I need. Now, it'd probably work good for somebody that's only got a smaller kit. Even, it's pretty deep, so even A7R4 would fit in here just fine. But you wouldn't be able to get, maybe a couple of lenses. But I'd probably replace all of these with ones that are a little better anyway. Although, I don't know how thick you need them. Obviously, I don't want my lenses banging into each other. A couple of nice pockets here to keep stuff in. Fairly padded on the back. So I like this Mindshift bag. I think it's a really good choice for a lot of people. Like I said, I'm going to see if they make one that's a little bigger because they made this bag that was, 30 liters or whatever. I think it might work for me. But I wasn't, when I bought it, I was just going off of something I read on the internet. So this is another bag that I bought. This is an f-stop bag. This bag is really light. I really like how light it is. But the downside of this bag is, first of all, there's no place for a computer. Again, tripod has to go on the side, and I just don't like that. What you do with this bag is that you buy ICUs. This is pretty flimsy. This not much padding. I don't know how comfortable this would be on a long hike if you had it fairly weighed down with a heavier kit. The other thing I don't like about this bag is you can see that when I open the back, it doesn't even come close to exposing the entire inside of the bag. So stuff up under here, and of course back up in here. Now you can buy an ICU that only goes to here, and then buy another one that you access from the top, and that might be a better option. I'm not sure if you could put maybe a lens or two up here. I was going to try to put my A7R4 kit in here, but I just don't think it's going to fit everything. I'm going to try to go ahead and get my 2 to 600. I think I've got that first bag I showed by Clik. I've got a smaller version of that bag, which I think will hold my A7R. So until it wears out, I can use it. But I think this is a pretty good bag. It's really light. It's typical. It's a wire frame bag, so the material is actually pretty thin, and that makes it quite light. So I'm redoing the Atlas part because what I've realized since I did that original video is these are really in a different category. You really can't put them with the other camera bags. Most camera bags are camera bags. That's their design, hold camera gear, and you've seen all the ones they have, all the compartments for cameras. Yeah, sure, you can get some odds and ends in them, but the Atlas bags are designed more with the idea of other stuff.
And if you really look at this bag, more than 50% of the space, maybe even 40 or 60 to 70% of the space, possible space, is available for what we would call other stuff. And they're also designed as more a pack than they are a camera bag. So really what they've done is they've designed a backpack, and then they've made a compartment in it, which is very accessible for your camera gear. And so as far as cameras, I've mentioned that when I did the video a couple years ago, or that I thought the compartment was small. Well, now I understand that that's kind of in purpose. For example, right now, if I want to open this, this is the Atlas Athlete, which is a smaller bag. I've got, not only do I have my Sony A7R IV in here, but I've got one of my DJI drones, complete with extra batteries. And if I get down in here, I've actually got one of my GoPro setups. And most of the time, I think the people that get the most benefit out of this bag are those that actually have to pack a long way. I could easily fit my lunch, probably small sleeping bag, extra dry clothes, lots of things. If you look here, the camera portion is only about this thick, as you'll see in a minute, and yet I can expand this bag all the way up to here. And the same with the top. The camera portion ends right here, but I can expand it as far as here. And the way this is designed, it'll collapse down or be as large as I need. So let's talk about this bag and the features that I like about it and what I don't like. And then we'll get the other one, which is a little bigger, and talk about it. It's very well made. It has a wire frame. I guess that's what they call it. So it's really light without anything in it. This is a really handy pocket. If you're out hiking, you can access this stuff quite easily without opening the bag at all. So a good spot to put some snacks or a water bottle maybe. Lots of little pockets all around. There's all these zippers, which is good. Also has a lot of places you can, hang stuff off with the carabiners. I'm not a hiker, so I think that's what they're called, carabiner hooks. As I mentioned, the duffel part is quite expandable. And as you can see in a minute, I can actually change this bag so that the duffel will even have more room and take a little space out of the camera portion. Side tripod mount, which I've already mentioned, I really don't like. I don't know if I need to figure out a way that maybe I can get around that, because maybe there's a different way to hang a tripod off. It does have a rain cover here, pockets up here, lots of stuff. Now, if we turn it over, one of the features that I really like about the bag, the Atlas bags, is I can take, in this case, I can take these straps, flip them like that. And if I want to access the actual camera compartment, it opens and fully exposes that compartment. And I really like this feature. Right now I've got my A7R IV in here. Fits really well. Before we get to that, talk just a second about more features of the back. This here is ribbed quite heavily, and so it's going to allow air circulation in behind on your back. Fairly decent padding, chest strap, places to hook things here. Waist strap is probably a little even over the top, incredibly thick. I wish they would make a optional, maybe lighter duty version of this when you're only going to hike a little ways. If I'm traveling with this kit, I'm going to have to take this off and try to figure out a way to attach it here or put it in a suitcase. This is kind of a neat feature. These two things have a little, what I would call a use pocket. You pull these out and they're going to hang down to your side. So like when you get to where you're shooting, you could put odds and ends, batteries, maybe even small lenses, depending on your camera, to hang down there. Really handy. It's really not meant to store anything in it. So I think it's meant more as a place to hold stuff while you're working. So kind of a nice feature. Camera compartment itself. I've got my 7200, my 16 to 35, and my 35 to 70 in here. It fits quite comfortably. I was critical about the depth, and some cameras will have a hard time with this. This actually fits okay. But about late 2021, I read that they decided to make the camera compartment 3/4 of an inch deeper. So it's a little bit deeper. That means there's a little less room in the backpack part, but it's not enough to really affect it. So a good example is this lens here. I haven't got this. I can't leave this up, right? I have to turn it. And I think with the deeper bag, I might be able to put it in like this. I would mention that you could expand the compartment below. To do that, you just pull this out, and now your duffel compartment is really roomy. And if you got, especially if you got a smaller kit, maybe you're not shooting a full frame camera, quite a bit of room. But maybe in my case, I don't take my 7200 often, so I could actually take my 2 main lenses and some other stuff, have room for quite a bit of stuff if I needed to. The pads are pretty thick, and the smaller pads, they've changed. You get lots of pads, by the way. The smaller pads they've changed, so they're a little flimsy, but they've made them, I think they're all the same thickness. The large pads like this have Velcro on the bottom as well as the sides. So once you get them in there, they're going to stay in place. They are difficult to put in. You kind of got to shove them down in and then start putting the bottom down. And if you're not careful, you'll end up with but once you get them in place, if you don't have to move them, they're really secure. So that's close enough for this for right now. So I think they're a really solid pack, but they really are intended for those that need to pack into places or need to pack stuff other than just their camera. I think this compartment here, even with the new dimensions, the inner dimensions of this is probably only 8 liter maybe. They claim it's 10 or more, but I did the measurements and I think they might be measuring from the outside of the foam. I'm only coming up with about 8 liters, but that's enough. Now, this bag here comes in 2 lengths, and they tell you, depending on your torso size, the longer bag has a zipper here so you can access this compartment. That would be really handy sometimes. In my case, I decided I don't need it, but I know one person actually made a compartment up in here to hold his camera body because he had a Fuji, like I showed earlier in my video, and so he had room enough to get the whole thing in here. I can't do that because I don't have the zipper, but I could come up with some kind of a thing in the top to hold part of it. I like to make sure my camera is attached to a lens that I use because I want to be able to pull it out and shoot it without having to put a lens on. Anyway, that is the Atlas Athlete bag, really nice bag. And if you have any questions about it, there are several really great videos on YouTube. I think Mark Denny has one, 2 or 3 great videos that go into more detail about what they can do with this bag. So you might want to look at those and explore that a little bit more. Let's move ahead to the other Atlas bag now. All right, so let's just real quickly talk about the Adventure. As you can see side by side, it is considerably larger. The camera compartment is, I think, 5.5 inches deep. So main reason I got it is because of my Fuji. Other than that, they're really similar, so we'll just hit the highlights with this one just to show a few things that are different. The bag itself works just like the other one. You've got to make sure I'm on the camera up there. A duffel compartment which goes from about here to here and is expandable to here. One big difference, it has a couple of an extra zipper right here, which is kind of a compartment to store stuff here. And it's also got another zipper here with a compartment for a laptop. So more pockets in this one. Has the same usable pocket here that's accessible without a zipper, and a little zipper there. Got all kinds of pockets. Same kind of a thing. There's less places to hook stuff to the front of this one than the other one, but same duffel style and same similar pockets up in the top. But all these pockets are bigger, roomier. The feature that I really like about this bag that's really pretty cool, if we turn it over, is to get inside the bag, not only is it wide open, but all of the straps move out of your way. The wireframe is in this part of the bag, and so this thing is like wide open, so nice. You can access the duffel compartment from here if you need to, so like your headlamps up in here and stuff like that, or your lunch. I do like these bottom open bags so that the dirt's on the other side and it's not on your shirt when you're hiking. As you can see, it's a really deep bag. That's my Sony or my Fuji, and it fits in there even with the L bracket. I had to take the viewfinder off because with that on, it's a little tall. It probably would still work though. I think it would still work because there's a little bit of give in this bag right here. but I don't use this hardly ever, so I just decided that. I've got my 3 Fuji lenses in here, no problem. Again, this bag, you can pop this out and pop that up, and now you've got a huge amount of space. I could get my Sony. In fact, I could probably figure out a way to put this lens in, and maybe even reconfigure this to get it all in there. So, as I mentioned, if you have other stuff, especially if you're going to backpack in, I think one person did a review on this, and they had a small tent and a lightweight sleeping bag down here, extra clothes, just a ton of room in this bag if you need it. So, other than that, it's very similar. The one thing I would mention is when I read about the bag earlier, it warned you that the bag itself does not meet carry-on requirements with the wire frame in it. But what you can do is you can pull this wire frame out, and then you can have it just, then this will mash down so it would fit. Again, I think you'd want to take this off if you were carrying it on a plane, because there's just nowhere to put it. It's just so big and bulky. It also has the little flip out pockets like the other one, which I think there could be a lot of little handy uses for. So that's the Atlas Adventure bag. If you've got a lot of gear, especially if you got a lot of, packing a lot of stuff other than your camera gear, really a pretty good choice. Really well-made bag. Well, that's a wrap, I think. Kind of a weird video, 2 years to make. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I do encourage you to search Mark Denny, a couple of other guys I've watched their review on this bag, and they do a really awesome job. I just made this video more for the fun of it, to maybe have people be aware of these bags. They actually are doing them out in the field and show you some really good stuff. So whichever bag you like, search YouTube for videos about that specific bag, and you'll probably get better detail than I have. Well, hey, thanks for watching. See ya.